Okay, so this is a big meeting right now, guys. When you do meetings like this, undercover meets with your undercover agent and the bad guys, it's extremely dangerous because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what could be said. You don't know if they're armed. You don't know what the hell's going on. Now, in this case, you're with 2 police officers, which is fucking wild because you already know that they're going to have guns. You already know that they're going to be on high alert. You already know that they're going to be more susceptible to law enforcement tactics. They're going to be smarter than your average criminal, okay? Now, I actually have footage of this meeting in the hotel, and I'm going to play that for y'all right now. And you guys are going to see JJ just being a really good undercover agent here, okay? And this is the actual footage from the hotel meeting, okay? In 94, I think they met, okay? At the Hilton in New Orleans, Louisiana, all right? So let's get this bad boy going. And if you guys are watching on YouTube, go ahead and, man, they keep killing this stream on YouTube. This is hilarious. All right.
We wanted to introduce JJ to Sammy and Lynn personally. And so they all met at the Hilton Hotel in New Orleans in a hotel room. When Lynn and Sammy showed up.
So there's Samuel Williams and there's Len Davis, the 2 corrupt police officers.
As soon as they came in, JJ proposed to them that they all strip down so that everybody could see that nobody was wired.
I think just put y'all think on the phone here. I'll let you look at wherever you want before you're gone. All right? But don't do the same thing. Have the same thing.
And so
very smart. Hey, I'm not wearing a wire. I don't know if y'all are the police, but I want you guys to strip down. I'm going to strip down.
So everybody did. JJ gave them an opportunity to search the room to see if there was any bugs, wires, whatever in the room, which the officers did.
Very ballsy for him to do that, by the way. Tell them, hey, go ahead and search the room, guys.
What's happening? It's not trust.
We didn't get a chance to really watch the conversation anyway.
Right. Right.
The room was well monitored with recording devices and cameras. The FBI did a phenomenal job in this case.
Yeah, I'm actually impressed. This is 1993, so you know you're not gonna have like the best equipment back then. And here's your boy Stan Hatton again, guys. You can see he's a little bit older now. The documentary I was showing you guys before was from '98. This one I think is like 2016, 2017. So you can see he's a little bit older.
And once they had done this search, they sat down and they had a conversation.
Juan Jackson presented that he wanted to use New Orleans as a transshipment point for cocaine, typically going west to Houston.
What's this going to be?
Why? Because Houston, like I told you guys before, is a huge drug hub in the United States. So New Orleans is obviously going to be a typical stopping point because Interstate Highway 10, guys, connects Houston and New Orleans. And I'll show you guys this real quick on a map. New Orleans, right? And I've broken this down for you guys before, how drug trafficking works in the United States. Which you guys, if you want to see it, you can go ahead and check it out on my other video on Breonna Taylor. But as you guys can see, Interstate Highway 10, okay? So you go here, right? The drugs come in, right? Through Mexico, typically, all right? And you got, you know, these major highways. One big route, guys, I can break down for y'all right now is from Nuevo Laredo, okay, where the Cartel del Noreste is, goes into the United States right here through Laredo, all right? This is where I used to be when I was stationed as an agent. Goes up into Highway 35, Interstate Highway 35, okay? And keep in mind, guys, the United States, odd numbers mean north-south, even numbers means east-west, okay? So it gets up here to San Antonio, which is critical. Why? Because San Antonio has this magical highway right here, Interstate Highway 10. Interstate Highway 10, guys, okay, takes you from Los Angeles, right? You can see it right here, Highway 10, all the way to Jacksonville, okay? So if you're a drug trafficker, you got one highway that takes you all across the United States, gets you wherever the hell you need to go. So the drugs typically come in through Mexico into the United States, a lot of times through South Texas, and then goes, or it comes from Miami, right? In this case, it's coming from Miami because remember, JJ's posing to be a Miami drug trafficker, comes in from Miami, and he needs to get it to where? To Houston, right? Well, look at what's in the middle of Houston and Miami, New Orleans, okay? And look which highway connects the two. Interstate Highway 10. Okay? So 10 also goes through Houston. All right? So this makes sense from a drug trafficking perspective. Miami, you take 95, bam, all the way up to Jacksonville, or you could take 75, whatever you want to do. And then bam, you can get across on 10, and then 10 will take you to New Orleans, and then eventually right here to Houston, which is a huge drug hub in the United States, because Houston gets drugs not only from Mexico, but also from Miami. Okay? So, like the fucking video, because you guys aren't... Who breaks down cases down to this level, man? I used to do this shit. This is what I used to do. Okay? You ain't gonna find another YouTuber or content creator out there that breaks this stuff down to this level of detail. Let's see here. So let's go back to the undercover meeting with JJ and these guys using New Orleans as a transshipment location.
It's like a spot where I hold something around.
He wanted a secure location, security 24/7.
All we want to do is bring something in, sit down for a while. Alright. I was talking about a warehouse with you before. We might have one, we might need another.
He wanted the cops to guard, in this case, a warehouse.
Now, that's a big deal, the fact that he wants them to guard a warehouse. And you guys are going to see why that's very important here in a second.
For between 2 and 4 days, every single month, while the coke was being temporarily stored there.
Anything within the city limits while we're working, it can be done.
Anything within the city limits while we're working, it can be done. Look at that. Len Davis, man, calling the shots.
It was also critical in this conversation, as per the U.S. Attorney's Office, that they wanted to get clearly established on tape that we weren't just talking about dope, but they wanted it on tape that they were talking about cocaine. And so JJ very skillfully maneuvered.
Now, you guys are probably trying to, like, asking, well, yo, why is it so important that it's cocaine? Well, the reason why it's so important, guys, to establish that it's cocaine is because there's different sentencing guidelines depending on the drug that you're trafficking. So, for example, you're going to get more time, right, for dealing with, like, methamphetamine and heroin than you will for, like, marijuana, okay? So, it's very important to identify what type of drug is being involved in the drug trafficking conspiracy. So, in this case, they're talking about cocaine, which you're going to see here in the meeting. It comes up.
Maneuvered the conversation, and JJ never actually said cocaine, but Len Davis did.
You could be 100% legit. It could be someone you deal with that we're not familiar with that might be into you and you not knowing, and then we were using words like cocaine, and then you got
Bam.
Gotcha, bitch.
That's a big deal. That's fantastic evidence on the part of the FBI to be able to get him to say that, because now we've established what, my friends?
Oh shit! Oh,
knowledge.
Shit. Oh, shit.
Knowledge is a critical element when it comes to federal drug trafficking laws. And I'll tell you guys how it's important. Let's say someone comes into the United States on a truck, right, smuggling 100 kilos of cocaine on a, in the back of his tractor trailer. Well, when he gets caught by customs and they call over the, the Homeland Security agents, right, because I've done this myself, you need to establish that that truck driver knew that there was cocaine in the back of his truck. They need to have knowledge, right, for the conspiracy to actually stick. So in this case, they're able to establish that Len Davis not only knows that he's protecting a warehouse, but more importantly, he's protecting a warehouse that is storing cocaine.
That made it very clear that we were talking about a cocaine protection operation.
We pretty much left it up to Stan Haddon and his squad to develop the evidence, because JJ, the undercover, the dope dealer, demanded 24/7 security. Len Davis and Sammy Williams could not have done that all by themselves.
See that, guys? That right there, my friends? Extremely intelligent to say, I need 24/7 security on the warehouse for my drugs. Why is that important? Because it's going to force Len Davis and Williams to recruit other police officers, okay, that are potentially dirty to watch the warehouse, okay? But we're going to run into a little issue here in a second.